Hey everybody, welcome to Storm Talk. We're going to focus on, of course, our short-term weather, and then we'll get into the outlook for the longer term and discuss Erica a little bit, since that's been a very popular topic on social media today. Severe threat today, not an issue for a good chunk of the lower 48. A few storms in the outlying areas of the lower 48 itself, and that's about it. We do have a new wave of energy that will pass through the northern Rockies into the northern plains. Wind fields do increase in this area, so they've introduced a marginal outlook in that area, and that'll be the general threat zone for thunderstorms as we head into Thursday. But notice the increase here in moisture across the southeast coast. That will be a sign of things to come as we head into the upcoming weekend. All right, today though, we've got a weak little boundary, if you will. It's kind of a reinforcing shot. It's a little trough on the back edge of this low pressure. It's across the Great Lakes, which looks very winter-like to see that, by the way. It's just ushering in the dry air once again, keeping things on the cool side. It has produced a cumulus field. Therefore, temperatures this afternoon are going to struggle compared to yesterday. So I don't know if we'll hit 80 at all anywhere, the way it's looking. This morning we had some 40s, 48 in Paoli. We had some 48s around Campbellsville. I believe Brandenburg also in that area, 48, 49. So you see the trend this morning, a few 40s, lots of 50s, 59 officially in Louisville. And then so far this afternoon, we've hit 76, and then we just dropped back down to 75 in the last hour. Looking ahead, quiet weather tonight, tomorrow, Thursday. No problems. But then we change the wind direction around for Friday. We get a few more cumulus clouds, a little more humid on Friday. Then we start to feel the effects of that tropical moisture. The question is how much that's really going to be able to work its way into Kentucky. A lot of it may be stuck here in the southeast corner, but we'll introduce a small rain chance in for the weekend. But keep in mind, we may get lucky, and I really feel a lot of us are going to end up probably seeing more dry than anything as we head into this weekend. All right, so let's talk about the tropics and how that's going to influence not only our longer term, but perhaps even our Labor Day weekend. First off, here's Tropical Storm Erica. Not looking overly organized so far today, although the last couple of frames show a few more thunderstorms, as typically the case this time of day, blowing up near the center, but still not a fully organized storm just yet. It's getting there. It's going to take some time. The models do keep it at tropical storm status all the way through at least the start of the weekend, and then develop it into a hurricane. We'll have an update on this, by the way, coming up today at 5 on the track. But the Hurricane Center track takes it right into the Bahamas. But notice the models, especially the Canadian, that's a CMC, take it more to the west. And then the GFDL and the HWRF, which are your more in-depth tropical models, take it more north of the Bahamas, curve it. That is because they're stronger. The way it goes with the Coriolis effect, these kind of systems, you develop systems really strong. They get a hold of the westerlies pretty quick, and then boom, there they go, curving out to sea. Because again, the flow here is west to east, and in this area, it's east to west. And once they get strong, they get pulled into that westerly flow, and boom, there they go. They love high pressure too. They will go on the edge of a high pressure. We'll discuss that in a second. The Canadian model is saying west because it keeps it fairly weak. It does not deepen Erica much at all. Keeps it pretty much a tropical storm, in fact, which would allow it then to enter into the Gulf of Mexico, which is the area it does not want to be in because it is much more prime for fuel to feed on than there is here in the Western Atlantic. We'll see how it plays out. Don't get caught up in all the model ideas that are going around. There's no sense in it because we have a lot of questions yet on how it's going to interact with the Allen chain itself, because if it interacts with the Allens too much, then it is going to fall apart and become a non-issue, really, or drift into the Yucatan area. So there's a lot of questions still on Erica. What we got to figure out, though, is the placement of the high pressure, because, again, the high pressure is forecast here in the GFS to be centered over the Atlantic. Tropical systems, again, love to round the edge of that and then curve out. But the GFS is not very excited about Erica really at all. It doesn't really develop any type of low pressure enough to raise eyebrows. It tries to develop some activity off the coast here that's kind of homegrown, new activity potentially. Not surprising by the GFS to see that, but nevertheless, it doesn't really see much happening with Erica as it stands now. The Euro, which is updating right now, by the way, but this is the, I believe, the previous run. I believe this one is here. Notice the high is a little more, the ridge is a little centered a little further to the north. That is going to allow Erica to travel a little more into the Bahamas, and then it really tries to grab a hold of that Gulf Stream and deepens it into a significant system, which is the one it's getting tweeted about everywhere. I don't know why, because it's one model run today showing this. But anyway, the new one's coming in now, and I don't I don't have enough data yet to say if it's going to say the same thing as it did this morning or not. I'll have to let you know later on today if we are seeing that. But it is a threatening model, certainly for the southeast. But again, it's kind of different because its counterpart, which is a Canadian, which usually tends to agree with the euro a lot, it's taking it, as I mentioned before, as a weaker system through the Gulf of Mexico and takes it right up I-65 and arrives here around the first day of September as a weak system, but a lot of heavy rain. And that would therefore mean cool weather, which would cut the idea of a heat wave, because we have potential for a heat wave coming our way. Starting this weekend into next week, into September, we could have 3 more days in the 90s, and that would be a heat wave for us. But if we were to get a tropical system, obviously that would shut that down pretty quick. If we do not, then heat wave is likely. So there are a lot of questions yet we've got to answer on not only our weather when it comes to the next time we're going to see some decent rainfall, to our temperatures, the heat that potentially could build as we head into Labor Day weekend. And we've got to keep an eye on the tropic systems. Are they going to influence us, or are they going to curve out the sea? And there's a lot of unknowns right now. So I wish I had better news for you guys. Just it's too early. That's the best way I can put it. Too early, but at least we are getting data. We're analyzing. We're watching it carefully. You got to watch trends. Don't get too caught up on each type of model RAM that is coming through. All right, that's it for right now. Enjoy this beautiful weather outside, and let's worry about all this chaos as we head through the next 7 to 10 days. Have a good one.